Okay. All right. Sree Iyer, you want to come in here, sir?
And just look at it from a technological achievement. See, building a satellite is not as difficult as launching the satellite. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, we had the satellite launch vehicles, SLV-1, 2, 3. They would all go some distance and then they would crash into the Bay of Bengal. What India has done technologically, in my opinion, is stupendous. And this is what we need to recognize and appreciate. Not everything is politics. I don't want anyone to claim win or anyone to say that, you are doing it at this time. Some things you have to do it when they are ready. I mean, don't we still continue to have water and electricity even though it's election time? Those things don't stop. It's the same thing here. Technology needs to keep growing.
With Professor Nalapat. Mr. Iyer, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Now, I think there's more going on than meets the eye, and the government is not letting on what is going on. Here is an example. For the last few days, if you look at what has been happening over Pakistan's airspace, they are shutting, they're grounding planes, then they're off, again they're grounding planes. So there is something at play there. Perhaps Pakistan wants to retaliate against India in some way, and a message had to be sent to the world that, look, if you are thinking of this, we have this capability. That's how I look at it. I don't see any politics in this. Some things cannot be shared in open public. And I think instead of just appreciating this and moving on, Congress, I think, is making it worse for itself.
Okay. You've made a very valid point. Sree Iyer, let me ask you this question, sir. The only set of people who are extremely upset with who made the announcement looks like the opposition.
It's really sad that they are trying to, find any and every reason to just keep on putting the government on the map. Now, it is 11 hours since this happened. I mean, I've been monitoring all the international channels. I'm just trying to preempt the next question that these people are going to ask. If there was any doubt about this, then the international channels would have picked up and said, no, there was no such thing. I am going to say that this did happen, that there was a satellite that was actually destroyed, and the proof has been, other countries can see and they know whether this happened or not. So I am saying that now don't, play politics again on this and saying, oh, did it really hit a satellite or not? It did. It must have, because I'm not hearing anything to the contrary.
No. We've lowered the level of discourse further, sir. It may have hit a satellite, but why did you announce it? We have reduced the level of discourse even further. So what if it hit a satellite? Sorry, I'm not bothered about that. Sree Iyer, can you hear me, sir? Let me ask you that question, sir.
Can you please repeat it?
Sree Iyer, can you hear me, sir?
Hear you.
Yeah. Did you hear the question, sir?
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
So, when celebrities enter politics, the first thing that piques the curiosity of all the constituents is, oh, I'm going to see this person in flesh, and once that curiosity wears away, I mean, they have a very small amount of time in which to try and establish their credentials that they can be your representative, and that's where the challenge lies. I think some have traversed this successfully, and others have not. And if you think about it, for me, when I see the name Urmila Matondkar, I'm reminded of that Gana, Lakdi ki Gadi, Gadi pe Ghoda, a small cute kid in Masoom.
Okay.
So these memories stay with you for a long time. And same thing with Jayaprada, Sargam. So what happens is that brings the people in. But after that, they need to establish the connect with the public.
There are examples.
Performing well.
Gauri, when somebody gets appointed to contest a particular seat, what they look for are three things: winnability, credibility, and track record. Okay? So if you look at these three things, we have to look at every contestant from these 3 points of view and see how good they are going to be when compared on these. If somebody else has a better, scores better, then clearly that is going to be a factor in people's mind when they go to vote. And to answer your question in the bigger, larger picture, India needs to start looking seriously at primaries, wherein they know that somebody is going to start putting in the effort with an idea of contesting a certain election and go and prove yourself, and then have a fight in primaries, and then let the people decide who is the better candidate to represent them.
Okay, Mr. Iyer, let me ask you this kind of question as well, that, career politicians stand to lose in tough contests. These celebrities don't.
That is probably true, but nobody ever retires from politics in India. So if career politician is not able to win in Lok Sabha, guess what? They'll try to get elected through the Rajya Sabha. How many of us have seen, like the likes of Mr. Chidambaram, who probably wouldn't win his deposit even in his hand-picked constituency? Now he is a member of the Rajya Sabha. So politicians never retire. Believe me when I say this, they will find a way to be relevant. They'll always go and find some issue that will pique the interest of the people. As far as these one-time actresses trying to become politicians goes, they need to have a good perspective. I mean, you cannot go, the 15-20 day election schedule is grueling. You have to come up with something new, because if you keep repeating the same thing over and over, you're going to lose your audience. So you have to.
Pallavi Sharma, let me take that question to you as